OK, a hugely popular sitcom. It took a satirical look at what we do here on this programme, working in a television newsroom. Drop the Dead Donkey is back.
Yes, 30 years after its final episode aired on our screens, the original cast back together. This time, they're taking the show on stage. Ellie Crisell has been to meet them.
It was one of the biggest hits of the 90s, pushing comedic and topical boundaries, a pastiche of a busy and somewhat dysfunctional newsroom. Now, the cast of familiar faces and writers are back together for The Reawakening, a stage show which has only taken over 30 years to make because it had to be absolutely perfect.
Everyone had to be available. It had to be the same writers. I mean, it wasn't a question of lack of enthusiasm that kept this from happening for so long. It was the enthusiasm that made sure the quality control was in place to make sure that we didn't do it until we thought we really had something that people would enjoy.
With Drop the Dead Donkey's groundbreaking handheld camera work and frenetic energy, how does the pace of the TV show translate onto the stage?
And with the rebels already in artillery range, the terror returns to the eyes of these tragic refugees.
When we were in the studio, we had a studio audience, and we were quite confined about how much we moved. And in an odd sort of way, although this is like a studio, there's a different dynamic to the movement, isn't there? And we actually all had to find, I think, to find a breadth in our characters.
Well, and a lot of it would be in close-up or two-shot, and then suddenly we've got to hit the back row.
And it's not just a nostalgia trip. The show continues to be topical, with weekly rewrites keeping the cast on their toes.
They are stuff relating to stories that are hot at that time, stories that we think will run through the week, stories we think that might develop during the week, and they go in to the show on the Monday. If a big story breaks during the week, then that will go in beyond that.
Well, I won't enjoy it. I can't even drink on these pills I'm taking. Well, one's not going to hurt me.
They all hurt you, George.
When you come out through a wall of people who just recognise you and go, yeah, we want this to be a success, and they come with us, and hopefully, you know, no one goes, I've not heard anybody be disappointed and go, oh, you know, we thought it was a bit.
With another 15 weeks of shows ahead of them, the cast are grateful to have 3 decades of friendship behind them.
There's not many relationships in my life that have lasted 34 years. And not likely to again. So I'm absolutely cherishing this.
And with that, we'll leave the last word to Henry Davenport.
And that is the news on a day when temperatures soared to record levels. Good night.
Ellie Crisell in another newsroom.